Hi everyone. Today I am making some little treats for back to school to throw in my kids' backpacks or lunch boxes. And I thought this was really cute because of this pencil. It's a really adorable stamp set called Everyday Thanks, and I picked this up during a stamp sale that we had recently. Um, Sometimes, we get involved in the big stamp sets that have stamps and punches or dies, and I do that. That's me anyway, so maybe not you, but me. I look at those types of things and I miss out on some that are just cute little stamps to have on hand. And this one I'm glad that I saw because I really liked this pencil. I like this little band-aid. This would be great for a police officer or somebody, first responder, and then we've got a little nurse or doctor and a little whistle for coach or um, anyway, gym teacher, coach, whatever there. And I think it's just a really cute stamp set. It's adorable for scrapbooks too, because I love these pencils, and I was thinking of doing, I'm really trying to get caught up. I keep mentioning my scrapbook because I'm trying to get caught up in some past pages. But today I am focused on school starting next week, and I thought I'd make a couple little treat things to put in a lunchbox or a backpack. My son doesn't ever eat lunch at school. He doesn't like to, but he will have a backpack. My daughter will eat some lunch. So anyway, here is what I'm going to make. And these are just really meant to be simple and fast. So for one, it's just going to be a little note card. And I am going to take a piece of basic white, and I am going to cut it 3 inches by 6 inches. And I'm going to score it at 3. And this is just making a little card. And then I've got some of this paper here with some hearts. This is kind of a pretty peacock background. This side would work too with these letters, but this is from the Delightfully Eclectic paper pack. It's a huge pack, and I think that the price might scare people because it's pricey, but that's because it's actually like 4 packs in one, so don't let that fool you. It's actually a really good, and the eclectic word is perfect because there's florals, there's stripes, there's these little hearts. It's very fun. So then I'm going to cut this piece at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach that here. You could probably cut out these individual letters and spell something too. I think I've seen a few things like that. Okay, and then there's a really cute pencil stamp. I need a little scrap paper for that. I think that's big enough. So I'm going to cut the pencil. I need 2, so let me make another one, because I'm going to do a little treat holder as well. So we have a little note card and a treat holder. And then on that Band-Aid stamp, there's this heart, which I thought I would grab too. So to get just one part of an image stamp, you can use a marker. Now you want to make sure you're using a marker that'll transfer, like a water-based marker like this one, Stampin' Right marker from Stampin' Up. A Sharpie is a permanent marker, and what'll happen is it'll permanently ink up your stamp, but it won't then transfer onto a piece of paper. It'll just be a black mark there, and that's it. I mean, sometimes if you work really fast, you can get a little transfer, but then your stamp is going to be permanently inked up. So I like these little Stampin' Right markers to color stamps with, and you can use markers to color your stamps all the time. Okay, so I've got 2 hearts and 2 pencils, and then I thought I would color these in, and then we'll use them on our 2 projects. One's going to go on the card, then one's going to go on the treat holder, which I'll show you in a second. I have to make one. So for the eraser, I thought that Moody Mauve would be good. It looks like one of those pink pearl erasers, so I'm going to go with that for here. And then with the dark, I'm just going to give some highlights. I'm just being kind of quick with this one. So how I like to do my blends is I like to go light, then I add a highlight in dark, and then I blend over on top with the light again, and that's kind of how I generally do the blends all the time. Now these that I'm using, I should have said, because I sometimes forget what people know and what people don't know. These are Stampin' Blend markers. These are those permanent markers I was referring to. See how there's different shape? And so the colors are available in both, and I'm just going to give you, just because, I don't know, I feel like it, a quick difference. So the Stampin' Up markers are water-based, and you can see that they are the same color. But one thing you might notice is the striping, because I've gone over a layer, and you can be careful and try not to go over. See, now I got a line there. You can try to minimize those stripes, or sometimes it's fun to have those extra little lines. It looks like a marker, right? Like we're used to. But with blends, they don't do that. These are fast drying alcohol markers, so they are going to, maybe you'll see a line when you first mark it up. When I go over it, you can see, but then they kind of blend into each other. The alcohol kind of seeps together, and you can go like the color, and then it kind of blends into a solid. Now this is a light, and so the blends also come in a dark and a light, and that way you can add those shadow highlights. So you can add a little shadow on the underside of that. So they're different, and these come in as pairs. You buy them together, a dark and a light, and they're $9, and you get the both. Whereas the Stampin' Up markers, the water-based markers, they come in family colors, color families. So you'd get like everything in that color family. This particular one is an in color family, so there are 5 colors in this kit, this little pack. And they're both great. I love these for coloring on stamps, because you can color directly onto the rubber or photopolymer stamps and get multiple colors on one stamp if you wanted to. But they're both fun. They both have great uses. I think both color nicely. So anyway, neither one is right or wrong, whatever you like. I'm going to use the blends for this just because, I don't know, I like them. So this one is Pretty Peacock, and that's the color here in the background. So I thought I would use that for this little, you know, that little metal edge that holds the eraser to the bottom of your pencil. And that, I just wanted to bring in a little peacock color, and that's the light. I'm going to come in with the dark and just give it a little highlight. Both markers have a brush tip and a fine tip. I was using the fine tip because this area is so skinny, but there's also the brush tip. So I told you I like to go light, dark, light. So I'm kind of doing here. Okay, and then for the pencil itself, I'm going to go with, this is Wild Wheat. This is another one of those newer colors. And I'm going to go light, dark, light. And then with the dark, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight to the grooves of the pencil. And then I like to kind of give the light layer just a little bit back on top of that. Okay, and then for the wooden part, I went with crumb cake. So again, light, dark, light for me. Just gonna add a little bit to the side. and then the tip I'm just going to make black, and I'm just going to grab this. I do have a black blend, but I'm just doing one color, so I'm not going to bother since this is sitting right on my desk. Okay, so I've got my pencils. Now this has to be cut out. Let me grab my paper snips and cut these out, and then we'll be ready to go. I'm going to cut these on fast forward so you don't have to watch me cut. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and add a pencil with some dimensionals. And if you wanted to bring in some more of that color, you know, if you wanted to bring in more of this wild wheat, you could kind of go like this. If you thought it was necessary. Sometimes it's fun to add a little more. Okay. And then, oops, I covered up that one, didn't I? Okay, so we're gonna go like this, and then this little heart will sit right there, but first I wanted to add a little bow. Now, my son is actually a junior in high school. So he probably is going to look at this and be like, my mom is crazy. But I'll probably put it in like the Chromebook or something. And even though he thinks I'm crazy and he'll think, what does she think, I'm a little baby? I know secretly he likes it. At least I tell myself that secretly he likes it. No, I do think he likes it. You can even send a little care package to your college students. I do have one of those also. All right, and then there are little teeny tiny dimensionals. I think I have some on my desk here. Here's some. I'm gonna put this right there. Okay, and then inside I can write, have a great day, blah, blah, blah. Love you, Mom. And that is a fun little thing. You can do little thank yous for teachers with these too. There's a thanks and thanks for everything you do if you wanted to make little teacher gifts too. And of course you can make a large size. Now when I'm doing these for the kids in their school bags, I do not bother with envelopes because I'm just going to slip this, you know, like in between the lid of the Chromebook probably, and I don't need to put it in an envelope. First off, if I put it in an envelope, he might not open it. but also it's, you know, it's one of those things where it'll probably end up in the bottom of his backpack for the rest of the school year, and then it won't look at it. But it'll make him happy at the moment. I like them to just feel that, you know, Mom was thinking about him. Okay, now this one is going to be on a treat, and this is going to go in my daughter's backpack and our lunchbox. So I'm going to put it on this little kind bar. Isn't that cute? And she loves these. So what I'm just doing is I cut a piece. This is, I think it's 3. Yep, 3 inches by 4 1/4. And all I'm going to do here is wrap it. So I'm going to throw some tear tape. I can find the end. There it is. On one side. And fold it over. Like so. Okay, and then to finish this one off, I can do the same idea. I'm going to put the pencil and I'm going to add this. Now this time, and I know that, you know, she might, if you're making these, I don't like to put too many things on these treat holders because some kids, I think, just, you know, they're going to eat the treat and throw it away. So don't go too crazy. I think this wrapper will end up in the bottom of the backpack. I'll see it when I clean it out at the end of the school year. So here you go. This is another little treat. Now if you wanted to do something more, like add a little saying or something, you can put a little piece of white on the back here, which is probably what I'm just going to do that. So I just cut a little 2 by 3, or cut a little, I think it's an inch, I just grabbed a scrap, an inch, and then I cut it at 2 3/4, and I'll just write my little saying here, like, you know, hope you have a great day, that kind of thing, and then I'll put it right there. But I'm going to write that without gluing it down because it'll be easier to write on a non-bumpy surface. So anyway, cute little treat holders that you can make and put in your child's backpack. These would be nice to give to a teacher too, put them on the teacher's desk. Okay, so here you go. I've got my little treats for the kids' backpacks or lunch boxes. I think they're cute. Tell me, do you think you want to do something like this? Would you put something like this in your backpack? This would be cute with the little nurses' stethoscope too. And you can do something like that as a thank you, or the little band-aid for someone who's feeling like they were sick. You can put a little band-aid on there, a little treat. I think it's fun. I think that my kids are going to be embarrassed to get them, but they're also going to like to get them. What do you think? Would your kids be embarrassed to get them or like to get them? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and come back again.